Hello everybody and welcome to the United Stand. Andre Onana to Manchester United. Here we go. Onana, what's my name? Onana, what's my name? Cut to outside Old Trafford where Goldbridge and a load of dancers does a little routine based on the Rihanna song. Absolutely not. Imagine doing that. What a bunch of cringe. But this transfer deal is done. It's massively transformative. I want to come at it a little different angle here. I've been hinting about this for a while on this Here We Go video. I want to talk about Onana. I want to compare him to Alisson, David De Gea and a couple of other goalkeepers and just show you where he ranks in the key areas as a goalkeeper. I think some people have completely missed the boat on this signing. We'll get into that in a minute. But what is, without doubt, is that this is a really good signing. It's another player with a Erik Ten Hag CV. And what I mean by that is whether it's Anthony, Martinez, Eriksen, these players have played under Ten Hag. So it brings a player in that there is no surprise. You know, when Sancho comes in, no one's worked with Sancho before. Solskjaer hadn't worked with him before. Same with Harry Maguire. But with these players, they've played with Ten Hag before, so he knows what he's getting character-wise. Remember, we've criticised United quite rightly for buying players that are good, but doing literally no homework on them, what they're like as individuals, injury records, etc. Well, Ten Hag seems to have identified that as a problem at United very, very quickly. They don't do their homework on the player. So he's done it. He said, go and get this player. I've played with him before. It's very clever. Some people criticise it and say, well, he's using a security blanket. I personally think he's doing it because he knows United's record over the last 10 years of buying players and them not being a good fit for the club. With these players, it's his responsibility, but he knows these players. And this signing is going to be massively transformative. We've gone from a goalkeeper, a legend in David De Gea, who was a bit of a dying breed in the modern game. Let's be honest. The style of goalkeeper that David De Gea is not what football's all about now. There is an over-reliance on a goalkeeper that actually can sweep up, that is good with the ball at their feet, that can start attacks and can be accurate with the passing, but also be a really good goalkeeper as well. That's not David De Gea's fault. It's not Lloris's fault. This is the modern game. It's evolution. There's plenty of strikers that 20 years ago made a good living that would be redundant in the modern game because they just wouldn't be able to play the way a lone striker has to play now. And that's just the development of the game. And this will be a transformative signing for Manchester United with Onana. I think he's got the personality. This was something I always worried about. I think that if you bring Costa in from Portugal or Raya in from Brentford, this is Manchester United. We might not have won a title, but we've still got in 10 years, but we've still got 75,000 fans at Old Trafford. It's still the theatre of dreams. It's still, every time you walk in there as a fan, it's like takes your breath away. Imagine what it's like to play there. Just because you've been a good goalkeeper at a lesser club, and I say that in a respectful way, Man United swallows people up, and I think you've got to have a personality to wear that goalkeeper shirt, or you've got to be patient and let them learn, which is what we did with De Gea. But we can't really be patient with this goalkeeper. We need somebody to come in now on a team that wants to progress, and I think Onana has the personality and the confidence to do that. It's going to be so intriguing to watch. We haven't had a goalkeeper like this since Van der Sar that can, play confidently out the back, and it will transform the way we play, hopefully for the better. And I think that, how good can Onana be for Manchester United? Well, look, I just want to go through a few bits here. So basically, last season stats: David De Gea, thrown in Courtois as well because I think he's the best goalkeeper in the world. Alisson of Liverpool because I think he's the best goalkeeper in the Premier League. So De Gea, Alisson, Courtois, and then you've got Costa, who we were looking at, and Onana. And I've just looked at 5 different things here. Now, you might have seen this on my Twitter yesterday. Save percentage out of all those 5 goalkeepers last season, Onana number 1 with a save percentage of 78.3. Courtois was second with a save percentage of 77.3. David De Gea was in 4th with 73.6. So save rates, Onana number 1. Number 2, long passes in relation to accuracy. Number 1, Onana, 71.8%. Number 2, Costa, 66.9%. And David De Gea was in 4th place with 59.6%. So again, Onana, long passing, save rate, number 1. This was the most interesting one for me, though. Aerial duels per 90 against high claims per 90. Number 1, Costa, 1.18. Number 2, Onana, 1.16. Number 4, David De Gea, 0.86. And Onana wins more duels than any of them. 0.35 per game aerial duels. So I saw something, I think it was on TalkSport this week. They were saying they worry about Onana in the Premier League and the physicality under crosses. For one, the Premier League's not like that anymore. We're not, you're not playing Wimbledon every week or or Stoke. The Premier League's not even like that anymore. This is what people said when Martinez signed. He's 5'10" and he'll get found out. He was one of the best players in the Premier League last year because guess what? The Premier League isn't about lofting big crosses into the box and big people bouncing around physically. That's not how it is anyway. But even if it was, Onana's still bloody good at it, which is proven there, and it just proves again that people do not do their research on these players. They just look at the Premier League and go, oh, he's a foreign goalkeeper. He's going to struggle with our traditional stereotype of football that doesn't even exist anymore. Passes per 90, this will intrigue people. Again, Onana, number 1. 31 passes per 90 with a success rate of 90%. In number 2, in second place, Costa, Alisson and Courtois all average around 28 passes per 90. And David De Gea, 21.7. So almost 10 passes less per 90 with David De Gea. And he has a 7% worse accuracy as well. So that's going to be massive for Manchester United. And then finally, accurate forward passes per 90. Onana, 1, 83%. Alisson, 2, 80%. David De Gea was in 5th with that, 73%. So whether it's passing, coming for crosses, saves, this goalkeeper, Onana, is actually number 1. Out of those goalkeepers we compared. And people will say, oh, what about the Barcelona goalkeeper? I think Courtois is the best in the world. I think Alisson's the best in the league. Costa was a goalkeeper we're looking at, and David De Gea was our goalkeeper. I think as a pool of 5, that's a good pool of 5 to look at. You can look at others if you want to, but my point is, Onana is a very well-rounded goalkeeper that I think is going to work really well at Manchester United. And let's not forget, he was playing for Inter Milan last season as well. It can all be about style of play, the team that you play with. So Onana has the potential for those stats to get actually better, which is interesting. But he's going to have a lot of eyes on him. One thing that you have, and we've seen it with Mason Mount, when you sign for Manchester United, there's a hype, and then there is a thirst, I would say, from rival fans, some United fans, and certainly from the media, for it to go wrong, because that's a story, isn't it? So I think there'll be a lot of eyes on Onana, but my personal feeling is that he probably will make mistakes, but Martinez got put on his arse by Salah. Nobody thought anything of it, because you can make mistakes as long as you embody what Manchester United's all about. As long as you've got the personality, the consistency, the ability, and the drive, then United fans know there will always be a mistake. A striker will miss a shot, a defender will get skinned, a goalkeeper will fumble a cross or misplace a pass. These things will happen because it ain't a game of FIFA. It's real life. But ultimately, I think that the consistency will come through with Onana, the personality will come through, and ultimately as well, the perseverance of Ten Hag. People talk of Antony like he's a flop, but they don't realise that Ten Hag was the guy who spent 80 million euros on him. He will stick with him because it's his guy, and he will stick with Onana because it's his guy as well. So I think it will be a success. The bigger issue will be how the team around him develops, because there might be better teams than us next season, and we might end up 4th, 5th, 6th, 3rd, who knows. But in a goalkeeping sense, it makes sense. There's no point in looking back. It's a change. I had my ideas about what we could have done for the next year and how we could have spent the money differently. But I will back the manager, and ultimately we were going to have to make this change at some point. And I think it's a little bit like Spurs with Kane, isn't it? Do you stick with Kane for another year and then lose him for nothing? Or do you make the change now? And with Manchester United, do you stick with a legend, a very good goalkeeper in David De Gea? Or do you take the opportunity now? Because next summer, maybe Onana's moved to Chelsea. Maybe there isn't a goalkeeper available. So, look, this is the change. Embrace the change. I think it's an exciting change. And I think he will be... I think he's going to be instantly likeable. And that is something that United fans will take to. And you can always get clipped up and you can always get things wrong, but you've always got to be positive about a signing anyway. I was positive when we signed Maguire. You've got to back them and you've got to give them a chance. But I think that the big thing for me about Onana, and the reason I wanted to bring stats into a Here We Go video, was because I do think he's transformative, but it's not just about passing out from the back. I think he's got a lot of really good attributes for a goalkeeper that stand up against the best in the world. Crosses, saves, etc. Anyway, make sure you smash a like on the video and do subscribe. Onana, here we go, to Manchester United. Get him on the tour and let's go and get a striker. That's what I think. Take care, everyone. I'll speak to you all in a bit.